safely say that we are now live on the YouTube, New Face Media. If you go to YouTube, New Face Media, you will see everything you have to see. That is the YouTube, New Face Media. And straight away, you will see Mansa Musa talking. Then on Facebook, you will see NFM Radio. On Facebook, that one too is there, and you can see everything as it's supposed to be, if you know what I mean. So going on YouTube NFM, Facebook NFM, and you see Mansa Musa, I am sitting here talking, and you see me on the screen, sitting on the screen as well talking. Let's go for what you will say is a commercial, just one or two of them, then we'll come back to continue.
For Sasadia, Yenam Top Connect so Emanisika de Bagana if we yasia fanenina yenchia capre. Ane, aye free. Top Connect a Masika money I am recra. You hear sober download it with Top Connect app no our Play Store. Diama or Android phone. And as we use iPhone so or Apple Store not download the Top Connect. Aye simple cra. Top Connect to a member radio numsu Europe, North America and Asia. Woman will dofu sika for Top Connect so aye na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia fra Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befontin tafidie nyina so Top Connect fasika mane wadofo asumjemu a wontia kapre Top Connect yenso ye die
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa and installation now, with everything called enterprise. Air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, okay, new. Never cold room, it's a cold stores, and in Bavia, you didn't see. I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. We had a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight now for your home fee. So, what the asset and our gas in Asa, say you'll come with the another dear and our cold store dear. Then you know, a very nice and quick, but we all be a you have yet the amount. Also, more bridge, I'm obviously dying or making one over to me and for you. Can lie with so yeah, be install air conditioning Ibiamamu. Frank +44 75 08 65 0279. Oh, wager adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org and I send you an email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
NFM Radio.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Namiwo. Makotna awonu Holland, ako Sam in Fifure. Sikaka kre minya yeno. Me diaba mia me maimu Ghana. Diaba betu registered bank, JN bank yi. President Nanado ube TV so bekachire Ghana for se. JN bank anye nejuma yi. Tiwaje bank ne licenses no. Wo the customers ni sika be mo. 3 years muni mensanka emisika. Sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million. Media kwa to commercial bank. Na me say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa akoboni nti. Osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa akoye adwuma nya interest wo so no. Once the Quran on famame. Misika trene no so. Ose on famame. Just 2024. Ne sika no interest ketuwa no a menya no. Obema mi mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana. Mintimi so enko Holland se me koye adwuma. Mimfi akọ animu kakra. Kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne me yire ne me mba yibedidi. Mr. President, mesero se me ma se me be street carefully ho. Mia misika makosam infifure enya no. Mesero se obema mensa aka. Obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no. Mesero se mo de beto mo platform so. Ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka. We nyamase mi bi etie. Ghana mpanyinfo mesero mo so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ama me. Medamase.
Good morning, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nate. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me san kano milito bond 2 years aka 1 year this year September year 2023 na mi bond no amateur wo adwina wo di ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me bra ma bre sika medi to bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye amroba ene ebe chimiji misika o oman panyi a ya to abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi aye adwuma. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre. Me disika yedi tua me ka se gratuity mi fa hwe me ho so no usi wafa this is 2033 se mi manu na opese omumba jisika na me nana no mu a menim president woni diemu o misrew unua na ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew mano fa nsa mfaso no ekotu yesika no mesika no mfa mame Nanado utrimu yedin papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire se 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no usi wuntu ameka menya 60 years ye Nanado misrew mibisa wo. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please, Nanado, mimpese mbe kasatia o. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusia debi. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efri sunyani esreo no. Jai misika mami. Midin di ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate. Mi tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo to see, to hear, and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, 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 Danado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Koforidua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident okwansi na uwiya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Manage 2 years. Sesia the Fiora Bia 2 years. I wanted them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Sesia no, sir, dan someone has said per se. Open single room. Sesia no unkuta 600, unkuta 500, unkuta 700, 800. Nya dying. Sesia agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee, just showing you the room. Sesia if you're for beer, the Omodayam agent for Uchia 9,600, also Uchia agent 900, 600, 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Sesia you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Me can't see me 6 months in 1 year. Sesia de we juma me fiera. Ube boa no busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because a whole month no pay. And tibaka one be den. Ume she bibi yo. Ume she bibi yo my one penny for mon kan one semishe na. Youth for the year brena ye kun ye anyhow. A direct in tea ye begging pontino. Ube come ye kun. Go back home my kunti youth nti ye brand muhu e dan sem e kunye adai how Ghana ye ble papa adai and the fiera walk in nka jeverese me patro me pedai mod be because who agent viewing fees so do quote them or bet you 80 CDs and now say 100 CDs and then dan so man dying who could have 600 nya single room name or do 2 years 600 CDs 2 years because of that into the ultimate mother or no person or two now or do a for a show on what 600 what 500 that they would turn into a person would 2 years. Ati mun kan wo hwe man ye say youth ni ye bre ye ya na ye beto abo ni ye aso na ye to aba na me de me influence ni nkrofo keke
Fire Will Burn You. That is the program for tonight, as it is for every other night except Sundays. It's only on Sundays that you will not see Mansa Musa here. Otherwise, every day Mansa Musa is here to do Fire Will Burn You. You know, in a nice way, as they say. Fire will burn you in a nice, beautiful way. Anyway, welcome back to the program. And tonight we are discussing several issues. One of them, some funny one like ambulance supposedly purchased by the Ghana Health Service. You know, ambulance, apparently 26 of them. And one was found at the forecourt of a car sales, that's a company in downtown Dubai. You see, sometimes I really don't know what is going on in that country anymore. Then we have this situation, a standoff. Illegal miners have gone into a pit. And so the authorities, in their wisdom, blocked all the entrances or exits or the egress. Blocked all the egress where these people can go or escape in a bid to trap them and arrest them. This action, any country, the criticism, any country at all, those who took that decision, maybe by now they are facing court charges. To resolve this situation where a pit, if a pit is closed, it is the duty of the owner or the owners to make it safe and secure. Any civil and any civilized, any enlightened place, it is the owner, the responsibility of the owners to make the pit or the mining facilities there safe and secured. So if you have a pit, a mining hole, a big hole, and you say, oh, I've closed it, I don't want to take the gold anymore, and so we are closed. Meanwhile, there's no security, there is no proper physical fencing, there's nothing to stop anybody from going in and out. That one alone, I say, in a civilized situation, the owners will be in trouble. Now, I'm not advocating or saying that if you don't have any work to do, it means you have to go and do something wrong, or you got to do criminality, or you have to do armed robbery, or whatever it is. No. But it is also fact, it's also true that it is not an excuse for someone to do the wrong thing, to go and steal in order to put food on the table. It is no excuse. But that is the reason. The reason is no work, no, no job, no payment from anywhere. Nothing is coming from anywhere. How do you expect people to live? And so, once again, not to sound as though I'm instigating or I'm supporting wrongdoing, these young lads, mostly young lads, entered the pit in order to put their whole lives at risk, so that when they survive and they are lucky, they will get some gold pieces here and there, sell to at least earn a living. And so the authorities, very wise people, I'm sure most of them have been in university just like myself, or have degrees, massive ones, people who have been trained to reason. They will decide that they will close all the pit, leave one entrance, and tell the illegal miners, we are waiting for you outside here. Come out so that we can arrest you. If you don't want to be arrested, stay in there and die. That is mentality, Africa. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I've got a caller right away from Accra somewhere. I don't know exactly. He is on the line. Let's go and say hello to him. Speak to him. I've got a lot to discuss tonight. tonight I'm going to speak to Ransford Jampo also about the presidency requesting CVs from. It's all happening. Anyway, Mr. Don Asma, good evening.
Good evening, Mansa Musa.
A long time. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Well, I'm buzzing. I'm okay. What brought you to Fire Will Burn You this evening?
In fact, I've been listening to your program, and Mansa Musa, as you are saying, you know, what's going on in Ghana now is really, really, really crazy. And it's getting crazy and it's getting worse every day. You see, as lawlessness as Nana Akufo-Addo introduced in Ghanaians' life, in every aspect of life in Ghana, is very bad. You see, the president himself is a very lawless person. You know, he does everything that he wants. And the most elite in the country who are supposed to, you know, protect the very good citizens of the country, they are quiet and they don't say anything. And today, as we are speaking, see what happened to common people who went to this mine to go and find something, you know, work with their sweat and find something to eat and feed their family. Look at what they did. Look at what they are doing to them. I mean, they have entrapped them. This is murder. You know, sometimes we are joking and maybe sometimes people are speaking about some things. You know, this is murder attempt. This is murder. You know, this is very serious. You know, but we have police, we have all the security apparatus in Ghana. What are they doing? You know, this matter will be left to propagate on radios and on TVs and laugh and drink and wake up and go home and sleep as if nothing is happening. You understand? And always, as I'm saying, the opposition NDC, being the very, very, very strong opposition party in the country, and the political party which has governed Ghana more than the MPP, what are they doing, Mansa Musa? As I'm telling you, if you remember when Mahama was in power, Mahama was working, the governance is working, everything is working. Look at the kind of the pressure this useless vice president and his entourage putting on Mahama, even when he is working. And today when they took power, they don't do anything, they loot, they kill, they do everything they want. And you know, our opposition, our NDC, they are sitting mute. And to me, being mute about current affairs, especially the barbaric current affairs of Ghana now, to me, it's almost like participating in it. You understand?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you understand? So this situation that we find ourselves in as Ghanaians is very serious. Mansa Musa is not something to be joked about. You understand? What is the NDC doing about all this? We are slowly heading to a major election. Mansa Musa, what is going on? No mobilization, nothing. And do we expect to wrestle power from these criminals just like this? By now, we have to make the country hot, you know, to let the ruling MPP know that there is men in the country. To let them know that they cannot take Ghanaians for granted, if not for anything. They cannot take the NDC sympathizers for granted. If, excuse me to say, they and the MPP sympathizers, they have loosened their brain, or they have taken leave of their brain and their senses, and they don't see anything wrong. The NDC is seeing anything wrong. NDC have to send a signal that they see things wrong. You understand? Because Mansa Musa, as I'm telling, I'm not in Ghana, but I'm following the way things are going in Ghana, and it's very, very, very bad. I left Ghana for about a year now. You understand? But I'm following everything that's going on in Ghana. Things keep getting worse and worse and worse every day. This current pharaoh of our time, he is destroying our kids' future. He has destroyed our future right now,
Radio.
and now he is targeting our next generation. If care is not taken, Ghana will be in a situation where you cannot afford to even eat 2 times in Ghana. Because as I'm talking to you now, the country finance is almost at a default. I mean, Ghana is almost in a recession because the economy has collapsed. And I have read about some articles, they say even employment in Ghana has stalled. Mansa Musa, is this our Ghana? Is this our Ghana? This is not the Ghana we dream of.
Anyway, obviously, we have a problem. The situation is such that we can go around apportion blames everywhere. It is very difficult to now find who is at fault because the NDC, they are also overwhelmed with so many things to discuss or to challenge. The party within the party itself, of course, it is very possible that not everyone is in, good or is in lockstep with the whole group. Maybe some people are taking different marching steps than the others, which is normal, it is natural. But I do understand you that by now there should be some consistency or consistent sort of pressure, being exerted by the opposition. But it looks like the opposition is always, or somehow, is always being controlled easily, which is a shame, really. But who knows what is going on? Who knows? It's a sad situation, but there's not much we can do.
There is nothing going on. There is nothing going on in the opposition. They are just mute and they don't have plan. That is the problem, Mansa Musa, because we were there. We saw what happened in 2020 election. This kind of the behavior from the opposition NDC led us to lose the 2020 election. And the same behavior, they are behaving the same way, which even make the 2024 election much dangerous. Because as Nana Akufo-Addo, as wicked and heartless as he is, Nana Akufo-Addo can do anything. If he don't have any signal that keeps him in check and his hooligans in check, Mansa Musa, you will be surprised in 2024. Akufo-Addo mponye na baumia. Mansa Musa.
Anyway, Don, I don't know where you are, but whatever you are doing, I wish you all the best, and you should succeed. And when you are back in Ghana, you can also contribute. It's a long time, but thanks big time for your call. Why? It doesn't be brave.
NFM Radio.
And that's a gentleman called Mr. Don Asma. He used to live somewhere, I think in Medina. Tonight he says he's not in Ghana, he's somewhere else. Decided to phone in, to call in, to say hello to the original one and the only Mansa Musa. Let me go for a quick break. I'll be back tonight. I need to talk to several people in Ghana. Let's go for a quick music.
When you were baby, your mama told you
abusiafo sesei die yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana efi wiase afana nyina yenchia kapre ane eye free top connect amasika manie ayemrekra ne wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo play store de ama wo android phone ana se wo use iphone so a ko apple store na download the top connect eye simple kra top connect wa manda buraduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a eyentem na emre na ma wa hoto so nso sese die sika manie di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fra top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befo ntintenfidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo asumdjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye dienie.
Right, Top Connect for you, Damasi.
NFM Radio.
Welcome back to the show, to the program Mansa Musa. It is fire will burn you, metaphorically, not in real terms. I don't want fire to engulf anybody, you see what I mean? But if you come to discuss stuff with me, you don't talk well, then fire will burn you. What I'm talking about is, example of our mentality, the way we do things over there in Africa, in Ghana, West Africa, human life or human dignity is not that much respected or, that much, enhanced, so to speak. That if someone done something wrong, we're supposed to be civilized. We are supposed to have finished or gone far away from the Buga Buga days of one-man rule, soldier rule, Masase, and all that and all that. We're supposed to have come a long way. That now we do everything within the law. That we operate within the law. So one would expect that, a lot of examples abound all across the globe as to how to resolve matters, or let's say how to resolve conflicts. So as we speak, we had apparently over 300 young men, usually young, strong men, energetic men who in the normal scheme of things would have found jobs to do, from agriculture to fishing to other manual jobs, specific jobs, trade jobs like professional jobs, tailoring, seamstressing, chef, cooking, just selling of stuff, mechanics, people in trades like carpenters or electricians, plumbers, artisans on construction sites, all walks of life, that these young men usually should find work to do. So if by the scale of the scale of what do we call it, the scale of looking at how many people work and those who are not working. Using that scale, at least we should say that let's say 90% of the youth have something to do, some gainful employment. The 10 or 15% is neither here nor there. Every country, well, not even in the Soviet Union, who prided themselves those days that they have 100% employment, it never happens. It will never happen. But, people should have work to do or jobs to go to every day. So if you live in a country, in a society where it is all about relying on gifts or, on credits or on begging, asking for help here and there in order to survive, Even when you are qualified, you are either asked to pay huge bribes, or if for a woman, whether you like it or not, you are asked to, have some sort of illicit, engagements or association with a big boss of a company, usually a public utility company, a public state company or state institution. You got to have some sort of sexual contact with people in order to get employment. All this is happening. Of course, it happens everywhere in the world. But when the society actually lives, the society itself is built and lives by such. Okay, thank you. Society is actually built on, such vices as to you pay something before you are given a job that you are qualified to do. So if you don't have the money to pay for that job or to pay bribe, that means usually the job will go to someone who is not qualified, someone whose pockets are deep, someone who has money to pay bribes. The whole society is so much, corrupted. The whole society is so corrupted. And so, especially the young people, the youth, have nowhere to turn, nothing to do. I'm talking about a case, a current situation where about 300 or over 300 young person in the Obuasi area decided to go and, illegally mine in a mine shaft, which has been abandoned or closed by the Ashanti Gold Company, that, the owners of that shaft or that pit. Apparently it's closed, but not physically closed, just that they are not using the pit anymore. So these young men took it upon themselves to go and do illegal mining in the pit. I'm sure previously these young people will be doing illegal mining on the surface, that galamsey, destroying water, water bodies, as they say, and destroying environment, crops and animals, everything. Now that, the pressure is on them to stop, if they find a pit which is empty, or a pit that is no more in use by the indigenous, the proper owners, then of course you see it attracts. The temptation is there for these young guys to go into that pit and go there to go and see if they can get some gold to sell. So exactly when this thing happened, I think it's now 3 days, isn't it? That, I don't know if it's 3 days or 4 days, that these young miners, about, I think they say about 5, is it? No, not 5, 300, over 300 of them were scattered underground in that pit. And when the authorities, the mine owners, Ashanti Gold people found out, they decided to close all the entrances, as they say, ingress and egress. So they shut all the entrances and left only one. And apparently information was sent into the pit to tell the now fugitive, now these fugitive miners to either surrender, that is, come out, so that they will be arrested, or stay in there. I'm sure no one actually used the word stay in there and die. But then, knowing very well that, okay, thank you very much indeed. Let me see, where are we? Okay. Knowing very well that these miners do not or did not have enough food and water. Surely, if you put that pressure that come out to be arrested, which they are afraid, or stay there to die, of course, many or most of them will try to come out. What about those who genuinely feel they won't come out? Are they to stay there and die? Ladies and gentlemen, we keep talking, Mansa Musa, I keep saying so many things all the time that the way our mentality, the way we treat our citizens, it is not proper on so many counts, on so many grounds. The way we treat ourselves, the treatment given to a black prisoner or a black offender in Europe, elsewhere, is far, 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 far better for a black African, a Ghanaian who has caused, some sort of trouble or has involved himself in some criminality. In Ghana, your chances of survival is rather minimum to your chances, it's rather, it is sad. Because my mind is on something, information that I keep receiving that I need to respond. That's why I seem to be fumbling and not flowing. But, sometimes it's like this. When you are not with your producer and you got to do everything, produce and present, then, it is a hard job. But we will carry on. Anyway. So these young people, Omoko, Boase, Daddy, they went to look for gold. The gold mine isn't there, so they have trespassed. We all agree. They've trespassed. If they've trespassed, obviously, they need to be arrested or they need to be somehow remove them from the property that doesn't belong to them. They have to be removed somehow and either still get arrested or be warned or left to go. But what we don't have to do is to create this. In fact, I watched this on Al Jazeera News. They are carrying the news as well. You see, to create the impression that we do not value our, the lives of our citizens. In any country, the president would have even spoken about this. In any country, the president would have spoken about this. Let me go for the call whilst I play this music, then we'll come back. Right, Fire Will Burn You. That is a program. I always have to add that it is the program, the title, the name. It is not literal. I'm not urging anyone to set fire to himself or herself. What it is, if you come here, you need to talk properly. Otherwise, fire metaphorically will bash you. Other than that, everyone is safe. If you are using electrics, especially in Ghana. I always have been saying that in Ghana and West Africa, where we have so much heat, things that causes fire, it's not gas like in Europe and elsewhere. It's all electrics, When you plug your sockets into a 4 outlets, the extension leads that has 4 outlets, yeah? You plug them and put other adapters to make it be. You are looking for trouble. Anyway, let me go to Accra and speak to one of the top gurus of the NDC fraternity. I know his position as oversees something as well, but I'll let him explain.
I can't hear anything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Very good, thank you. The phone is sometimes a bit rough. Anyway,
okay.
What I've been saying is that I'm here with I'm joined from Accra by lawyer Alex Segbefia. He is one of the top NDC people, and I think he's overseas director for the NDC, something. That's not what we are here for tonight, about overseas. But what is happening in Ghana? Lawyer, let me ask you this. What do you make of what is happening in Obuasi, where we have now fugitives, people who have done wrong by, trespassing into a mine pit? Then the authorities close all the egresses, left one and telling these young people, come out to be arrested or stay in there to die. I mean, this is not a best way of conflict resolution. Or is that the best we, as Black Africans, is that all we can do? Good evening.
Good evening, Mansa Musa, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. We have lost our way as a country. It's very clear in a number of things. And over the years, we have seen a deterioration in our values and our principles and what we stand for. And we have pushed everything to the very edge in terms of what is acceptable behavior and what is not. And everything revolves around money. I'm still waiting for the day when they will start charging us for breathing oxygen, because everything is revolving around money in a way that we have never seen. And it's unfortunate, but that is where we are. And this has been a gradual process for a while. Now, in relation to the mine pits, the first thing is that you must save life. Life is not negotiable. And therefore, if they have 6, 7, 8 exits, you must try and open the exits for the people to come out. Because if actually, as some people have said, it has been done in a way where they can only come out through one exit. If the person is that afraid and doesn't come out early enough, the person can dehydrate. The person can have become weak from lack of proper eating material or of proper fluid intake. And sooner or later, you might end up with a fatality. And that is totally unacceptable. You can have different ways of dealing with this matter, because if you open up all the exits, but you have cameras at all the exits, at inaccessible areas, as the people come out of the exits, you would be able to capture their facial expressions, their body positioning, etc. And you will be able to arrest people after the event, even if they run off. You could even deploy enough people at the number of exits that are available. But I don't have full detail of the area. I don't know how many exits we are talking about. And it's a volatile situation that has to be dealt with very carefully. So I would implore the government of Ghana, the security agencies, and the owners of the mine to work and collaborate together with the chiefs and people of the area to ensure that there is a satisfactory end to this matter, as opposed to some fatalities actually occurring. Let me know in no way also, once I've dealt with that aspect of ensuring that they have life and limb is safe, it is also right to condemn their acts to go into a mine that it's for somebody else, and without permission you enter the person's land and begin to, that is also wrong and must be condemned in no uncertain terms. And therefore, we do not condone their behavior, but we do not want any steps that are taken that will lead to the loss of life. So that is our position on it.
Lawyer, you see, you and I mean, you've traveled long and far and you've studied, I mean, you are well read. You know very well that all what you have, what you have just discussed, what you have just explained, there are stages and steps and responsibilities on all sides. Number one, it is wrong for these now fugitives to enter a premises that doesn't belong to them, trespassing, the rules and the laws, everything is there against them. Now, the ones who have these mines, the owners, I learned it has been abandoned or stopped, or they are not doing any activity anymore. But you and I know that the law, the responsibility is on them to have those premises secured. Those places should be made safe and secured in terms of special or physical barriers, security, everything. Just leaving it open and say, it belongs to us, you don't have to go there. What about if someone just wanders in to go and die? I mean, anything. So all these things, it looks as if we have built a state where this modern way of life or modern style of governance has just gone past us and we don't seem to care. 2016, the government was running. It wasn't as perfect as maybe in America or Sweden or Denmark, but now, will you agree to me that things are really haphazard? Things are really falling apart.
Well, yes, Mansa Musa, I mean, as for falling apart, it's not that they are falling apart. It has fallen apart. They are not now going, things are falling apart. And it's unfortunate. There is no comparison between the Mills Mahama administration and the Nana Akufo-Addo administration in terms of the level to which the country has deteriorated. There's absolutely no comparison. If people want to be true to themselves, it is very clear that Ghana has deteriorated greatly over the last 7 years. And, this idea of everything is Russia, Ukraine, and COVID is not, a lot of our problems are down to mismanagement and the lack of national issues being made for us as a country, but instead we have political and personal issues, decisions being made for us. So you even have now the judgment that has just come out indicating that the president's removal of Domelevo was unconstitutional and should not have been allowed. We even have the view that the law that was actually created, or the certain segments of it that were created under the COVID emergency COVID legislation was unconstitutional. So this government has done a lot of things which are unacceptable for a country like Ghana, and they have stretched it to the limits, and they just won't listen. And because of his inability to listen, we have ended up where we are. They also have a penchant for not speaking the truth. So you have a whole president saying, I'll beat 88 hospitals in 1 year, and it doesn't happen. And not learning his lesson, he comes back and says, I'll build 111 hospitals in 18 months. It doesn't happen. He says, there will be no haircuts. There are haircuts. He says, we are not going to the IMF. We go to the IMF. We will pay your bonds that you owe by a certain date. It's not done. We give you another date. It's not done. We are going to reach our IMF program in March. It's not happened. We'll meet it in April. It did not happen. So quite simply, the credibility of the government and the president is at its lowest ebb. It's at zero. Nobody takes anything they say seriously anymore. And it's unfortunate, but that's where Ghana is currently. And the only thing I want to say is that in terms of trespassing on somebody's property, I do not believe that the holes are there, people walk to them. No. Most of these places which have old mines or this thing have actually got fences and are fenced. So you cannot enter unless you make an effort to breach the fence and go in.
Sure.
And therefore, that is not the fault of the landowner. The people have trespassed into this thing. As to And if a mine is not being mined in, it's cost money to be going there on a daily basis. When they are ready to go back to mine, and when they say a mine is dormant, it can mean a number of things.
Sure.
It becomes dormant simply because it's not cost effective. But if the price of gold goes up to a certain point, that mine can now become cost effective because the amount of gold you will get out of it would be sufficient for you to go and remine it. That's why they keep and hold on to it because they already have the shafts and everything in it. And the people who have worked in the mines know this. So they will go and look for ways to get into the shafts and do that. That is completely illegal and should not be done.
Sure.
But once they have found out to be there, you should allow them to come out by whatever means, because the longer they stay down there, the more dangerous it is for them. There can be cases.
You see, I put it simply like come out to be arrested or stay there and die. It is simplistic, but maybe that's not what they've said. But you are saying it. I mean, I agree with you that those people should be looked after or cared for as human beings first. When they are out, then the law can deal with them. Is that not it?
That's exactly it. You've said that. That's exactly it, Mansa Musa. First, you have to look at the humanitarian position and then take it from there. And once you look at the humanitarian position, then you're in a better position to operate. So for me, that is where I am on that particular issue.
Let me ask you that before we go to other issues, very important ones. Let me ask you what has been the official statement on this particular case? I mean, official by the president, by information department, by the mining ministry, or let's say the is it NADMO? Those people rescue any official, and also your hierarchy. Obviously, you have a part to play, either to push the authorities to do the right thing. What have the NDC come out with on this issue?
Well, the NDC is clear in our mind that all must be done to ensure that life and limb are safe. Secondly, those that have breached laws should be dealt with under the rigors or under proper legal processes and procedure. So if people have trespassed, they have a right to be arrested, they have a right to be taken to court and considered either for civil or criminal charges or civil cases, depending on what they say has happened or not. Most of this trespassing looks like criminal, and therefore it becomes important that we look at all those issues. Having said that, the NDC is clear also that it is because of the level of poverty, the lack of jobs, the inability to help our people, that we are in the position that we are today. And what is most painful is that the government of the day sang songs from the rooftop rafters that when we come, we know how to run the economy. We don't even have to borrow money. The money is here in Ghana. I've worked at the Bank of Ghana, and I know that there's money in Ghana, and that is it. We don't have to go and borrow money to build roads. We will toll all the roads. And when we toll the roads, we will be able to then build roads from the road tolls. We'll have one village, one dam. We'll have one district, this, that. All the kind of things they said. Where are they today? Where are all those? And therefore, when you look at the behavior of the current government, as opposed to what they promised and how they behaved towards a government that was doing its best to keep the economy on even keel, you can have absolutely no sympathy for them. Absolutely none. Because they have actually misbehaved and continue to do so and speak in a way and a language that is totally unacceptable. Because they are, I don't know what yardstick they are using. We are using their own yardstick, and it doesn't match up to what they have said in the past they were going to be able to do. And they keep saying, "Oh, we did well for Ghana." What well? Every country has gone through COVID and Russia and Ukraine war. Those that had good planning and planned for a rainy day everybody has difficulties, but they are able to be in a better position. Those that didn't borrowed money without thinking how to borrow, they are in a very bad way. And Ghana was at the bottom of the pile. Our inflation at one point was over 50%, unheard of, because when we were doing single digit and then in the teens, they were all jumping up and down. We have net inflation. You are 50% at a certain point. And you look at the exchange rate, you don't want to talk about it. You look at our reserves, worse. So every single macroeconomic indicator has seen a complete fall and drop. We were downgraded as junk status by the rating agencies. So I don't know what anybody can be saying is good about this Ghana. When you speak, COVID fund, who got more money than Ghana in terms of proportionality, in terms of COVID funds? Now you have gone to the IMF to look for 3 billion. They have given you 600 million out of the 3 billion, and you are clapping, forgetting that under COVID, you got almost $2.5 to $3 billion already. Boom. One of it was 1 billion interest free from World Bank. Other was Jala money. We haven't talked about that. You were able to squander all that money to win an election in 2020. And when they say account and the report came, the report is showing that there are holes and holes and holes and nobody. And your own lady saying we share the money and I got this amount, the other people got this amount.
NFM Radio.
So let us be clear in our minds. This government has failed. It has failed dramatically. There is no hope for Ghana except a change of government in 2024. So we are all bidding our time day by day, and more scandals are coming day by day. And we are hoping that when the NDC government comes into power in 2025, we'll be in a position to balance and set the records with regard to the future development of the country. Thank you, Mansa Musa.
Let's talk a little bit about elections. And before then, a trivia issue that has happened far away in Dubai. Now, not hospital beds, but ambulances meant for the Ghana Health Services. One of them found at a forecourt in Dubai somewhere, somebody either selling it or displaying it. The explanations coming out, I think, from the health service themselves. What do you make of this?
Well, once again, it's totally and completely unfortunate. And the explanations, as you've indicated, that have come out don't match what independent people have seen and put out. Two things are important. One, the ambulance was seen on the forecourt of a place which, according to those that are around, it's a place where they sell cars. Then you have somebody who has a website, and it has been looked at. And that website shows that this ambulance was also put up for sale. And then when it was raised, that picture was taken off the website. But people had taken pictures of it before it was taken off the website. So there are two areas which say some sale apparently was going on. One where it was parked, and two on the website of a particular thing. And the reason why they say it's Ghana Ambulance is because it is actually printed on the side that this is for Ministry of Health of Ghana. It's there, black and white. So now people have to come and explain this. How did that happen? And the explanation that we are getting doesn't wash. So the authorities, the Ministry of Health, has to come out and explain what has happened. It's also interesting because the ambulances are being manufactured in Dubai. These are Toyota ambulances. The ones which they've taken people to court for are also ambulances, also to be manufactured in Dubai. But those ones are Mercedes-Benz. So it shows that going to Dubai to get ambulances of companies there that to purchase ambulances from them is not new or strange. Both political parties seem to do it. Why? Because no car manufacturer manufactures an ambulance itself, or maybe very few. But as far as we were concerned, there's Mercedes, Toyota, Volkswagen. They do not manufacture ambulances. What they do is they put out a set of ambulances which are available for reconstruction and refurbishment into an ambulance. And that is what has happened in most of the cases. So you will see that the companies in question are companies that have, how do you call it? The companies in question are companies that would then manufacture a bus, an ambulance from the vans that are given. And that's why when you go to Dubai, has some of the best companies that do that. And that is why you find people manufacturing ambulances in Dubai. Yet when the narrative started, it was almost as if somebody had done something wrong to go to Dubai to buy an ambulance and all kinds of, but they are also going to Dubai to get it. Theirs is also supposed to be under a World Bank grant. And we are assuming also that it is one and the same that we are talking about, but we do not know why, because the information is not out there. So all is speculation at the moment, conjecture. And when it starts that way, what you need to do is to be, one, quick and answering, but accurate.
Sure.
The accuracy is more.
Sure.
Information that came out was not accurate. And because it was not accurate, it has created more of a problem. And therefore, it has become imperative that people look at it and see, or the government looks at it and come out with some, because now the speculation is that, look, maybe, and this is just pure speculation, the money for the ambulances was given to the government of Ghana to pay. They haven't paid, and the ambulances are ready. And therefore, because of that, the people have decided to sell the ambulances to get their money. Now, that is an unfortunate statement backed by nothing factual, except that nobody is explaining. So if you don't come back and explain very quickly, the rumor will now become the truth, or fiction or perception will now become the truth. And then to change the truth into the right narrative will become difficult. So we are pleading with government, come out quickly and give us the tangible explanation for what has occurred.
I see. Lest we forget, our comrade, a senior comrade, such, I've just been told, I've been given information that has passed away, and that is it Amata Edu? Yes, and that is a sad situation for all of us. I'll give you the chance to, if you know a little about her and her works, just a little bit of
I can't go
tribute.
into about. She is definitely one of our better authors and orators in terms of literary work, in terms of writing and books she's done. And she is renowned and is a true patriot and has raised the banner of Ghana very high. So at the time we lose one of our gifted patriots and artists,
a proper African human being, a proper Pan-Africanist who actually, did her bit for her people. May her soul rest in peace. Coming back to politics, this elections, look, Kumewu, we have all seen what has gone on there. Now, Mr. Segbefia, let me ask you this. I saw a clip where your colleague, has gone to ASSIN North area to tell the people that, the government, they are coming with cash, the IMF money. When they come, collect it, but still vote against them. You see, my question or my worry is that, so now the bar has been lowered. That moral fiber that the great Jerry Rawlings spoke about, now it is completely thrown out of the window. And so it is that if you cannot beat them, join them. It looks as if they have the cash. How are you guys going to compete?
Well, one of the things that I learned from the recent primaries for our elections is that the Ghanaian
NFM
electorate becoming savvy. Because a lot of people believe that everybody can be bought. It's not true. It's changing a bit in Ghana now. Not very much, but a bit. So that it's not always the case that the person who has the most money or pays the most money ends up being the winner of an election. No. It does have a lot of influence. It does play a part. It is just part of the system now. So you try and talk against it. You try and because we don't have that kind of cash to pay. So you go and work on the conscience of the people and explain that the money that is coming is yours anyway. So if anybody comes to you with money, because I haven't come with money, don't look or be swayed by the money. Be swayed by the message that we are coming with. And think of Ghana and the situation now. Make sure you vote for the NDC. So yes, to a certain extent, you are right. We are not encouraging anybody to go and pay money, but we talk against the payment of the money. But we also say that if your situation that the government has created is that bad, and you feel that you cannot turn your back on the money, don't by all means say that you won't take the money, but vote rightly, do the right thing, and vote for the person who you believe is going to make that change in your life. And that's is simply the message. But I agree with you, Mansa Musa. The values of 1992, 1996 up to 2000 have long now been washed away. The whole system is monetized, and we have to get leaders back and move ourselves away from the total monetization of the system and find ways to check and cause it balance, to create balance. And that is one of the major things as a country we have to look at and try and solve.
A quick one before you go, a quick one about situation here in the UK. You being the overseas, so to speak, in a loose way, overseas commander. What can you tell us about the situation in the UK Ireland chapter of NDC?
There's no problem. We needed to have an election. And the election is in two stages. You have a branch election, and then you have a chapter election. The chapter election is very dependent on the branch election because your delegates from the branch elections are the ones that are to be used to conduct the chapter elections. Unfortunately, we had a few problems with the branch election registers, not for any bad reason, but simply because most of, in fact, if not all, a good 95% of the people in the branch elections went unopposed. So things that should have been done and checked at that stage were not done because there was no contest. But at the chapter level, there were contests at almost all levels. And as a result of that, people showed a lot of interest in who had applied, who was competent to contest, how the list was put together, and had people really paid their dues so that they can then be considered eligible to vote. And that is where everything had to go through with a fine-tooth comb. There was so much suspicion going on that in order not to compromise the chapter itself, an interim committee was put in place just to deal with the election issues, and that they are still having their work ongoing, and we hope they'll come to a conclusion soon, and the election in the UK will go ahead.
I see. So in your own perspective, how soon, how closer, how near are we to that election? Because people are sending me message, Mansa Musa, ask him, we can't wait forever, blah, blah, blah. How close are we?
When people ask questions, the committee that is in place must take its time and make sure that it investigates and answers them. And that is all that is happening. So there were a myriad of questions. A provisional list was put out. A myriad of questions from all sides came in, and they are taking painstaking time to go through it and answer all the questions or deal with it, come up with what they believe is a satisfactory position, and then it will be forwarded to us at the IRD in Ghana, and then we will finally make a decision on what the final list should be for the election. So that's where we are.
Brilliant. Finally, the MPP people, who do you think NDC has, which of them will be difficult to spar with come the 2024 elections? Is it Alan Tremantin or Baumia?
All of them, whoever the MPP put forward, they are going to lose. So it doesn't matter.
That means your pockets are bigger than theirs, I suppose. Ghana for omu mentality ne omu morals ni nyina talk we it go. That is where your fears should be. People can easily be bought. I don't subscribe to what you just alluded that people are discerning. Someone have also sent me on Facebook that people are discerning, but I don't believe Ghanaians can be bought easily.
Mansa Musa.
Say, go ahead.
The people who are bought are not the electorate. They may buy polling agents. They try and buy EC officials. but you cannot buy the whole electorate. It doesn't work like that. So for the general election, I'm clear in my mind that people try and gather people to get them to go and vote and help people to get to the grounds, mobilize people to go. That's different.
That's different.
But to say you are bribe the electorate of how many million people, 13, 14 million people, it's not possible. What is possible is for you to identify polling agents, to identify EC officials who you think can be compromised, and try and compromise them so that they do things in your favor.
Oh, I see. Do you think that is your Achilles heel? Because recently at Kumewu, I found it worrying that the the chairman general, how do you call him now? Your chairman. Yes, he personally had to go and instruct some of your representatives at a polling station where to stand and how to observe. To me, that was a problem. People are not being properly trained, are they?
Well, you see, the preparation for a by-election is very different from the preparation for a general election. Because you have a date for a general election, you work towards it, and all the training and everything goes with it. The by-election comes to you as a matter of certain incidents, and therefore the timing and time for training is not the same. So that's why we have to get a lot of our people to go in there to help with dealing with the polling stations and whatnot, because even the people on the ground wouldn't have been sufficient time to have given them proper training. And so you saw that we had a number of people on the ground to assist. But
anyway,
I keep telling people, not our stronghold. Kumewu is not a barometer. It's a barometer for MPP. Because if MPP lost, or not even lost, got a big margin of against them, it would have been a disaster for MPP, but not for NDC. It's not we from 92 to date, presidential and parliamentary, we've never won. So I mean, what is it that I don't do false sense of hope?
You are totally right on that. One thing though, before you go, what we are forgetting completely is what I heard or saw on GMG, the Good Morning Ghana, Randy Abe's show about the presidency requesting CVs from directors of EC and other government institutions. That is a bit strange. Or is it normal? Did you guys do same when you were in office?
This is the first time it's happening in Ghana's history, as far as I know. It is wrong, totally, completely wrong. The president doesn't even appoint these people. Ghana Public Service, yes. President, no. These are not commissioners who you appointed. No. They're directors. Why do you have to know what the directors in the EC who are there now, where and what their CVs say? Why? You won an election in 2016 with these directors. Even if new ones came, you have won an election again in 2020. So what is it that you are afraid of that you, I mean, but why are you even checking? Is it your job? What does the presidency have to do with that? So it's
maybe you want to look at it and appraise them. Maybe I don't know. Really, I want to play devil's advocate and try to defend the presidency, but I don't know where to start.
Mansa Musa, you cannot. It is wrong yesterday. It is wrong today. It will be wrong tomorrow. It actually confirms all our fears. All our fears about the EC should be writing to the what's it called, presidency, and saying that your request is illegal. They shouldn't be writing to their people to get CVs. They should just tell them that their request is illegal. And what's the basis of the request? Why? They did all go through a process. They all went to a process to be employed. So what? And if there has to even be some concerns, it should be carried out by the EC itself. What is the president being involved in it for? So for me, it's a non-starter, and it's really, really disturbing. Really disturbing. Because this is an EC that has just employed full-blown MP people into the commissioner. Full-blown MPP person. I mean, so we have lost our way completely. We've lost our way. You can't do this. At least even if the person is deemed to be sympathetic to your cause, but has never shown any clear-cut sign of being with one party or the other, then you employ the person. But this one where the person has shown to be MPP, spoke for MPP, patron of their youth wing sector, and you have employed him when he has made certain utterances very clear where he stands, has been one of the people.
Do you know that this, is happening almost across Black Africa? I mean, I've seen it on Al Jazeera in Congo, in Senegal. There are street battles being run against the police because of such measures where the incumbent have actually taken over all the state institutions, the electoral commission, the judiciary, everything. This is a problem, and like I have a term, the final solution, or that sort of thing. Are we not in danger of maybe igniting some flames? Because it looks as if people are determined to hang on to power.
Well, I'm very careful with my language on this one, but yeah, we are treading on dangerous waters. I mean, this taking over the whole system, state capture of institutions, it's wrong, and it is not sustainable. It creates a problem. So I will only say that I hope people in government will speak to the government. People in the MPP will speak, because this is wrong. This letter to the EC is damning. Makes it clear of the mindset, and has given credence to everything that the NDC has been saying all along, that there is no political will to have a level playing field. In fact, there's a political will to continue and keep power at all costs. And that is not good for, or will not bode well for our country.
That wouldn't bode well for our country. My colleague and a good friend of mine, thank you very much. In fact, when I spoke to your representative, I said we need about 5 to 10, 15 minutes maximum. But the conversation with you, as usual, so interesting, so palatable, it has continued. I still have energy. I don't know about you, but I will be respectful and say thank you, and let's do this again another time.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mansa Musa, and I'll be available the next time round.
Nice
Thank
one.
you so much.
Have a good evening. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Right, so that was Mr. Alex Segbefia talking to me from Ghana. We've touched on so many points, and those of you who listened from the beginning, I don't know what you make of it, but you can call me to discuss what you've heard. 21:03, that is 9 and 3 minutes past. Later on, about 9:30 here in the UK, I'll get hold of Ransford Jampo. He is a lecturer at University of Ghana. Okay, thank you. Lecturer University of Ghana, and he has written a piece about this leaked. I say leaked. It's a leaked request memoranda from the presidency to various heads of state institutions, including the EC, that those directors there should submit their CV to the presidency. I mean, obviously, if one director is to be, let's say, promoted or something, I think there is a government body that has to look into that and make a representation to the president or his office. Then the necessary progression of that process will continue. But for the presidency itself to ask, I mean, now the country is being run as though we are in the 80s, where Rollins was doing his own show. Even that wasn't like this. Come on, guys. I don't know what is wrong with Kufuor, but I can safely say I will just say that this shows insecurity. That's all. The guy is running scared. Kufuor knows that he is in trouble. He knows. They are pretending as though, they are doing things and they are talking big talk and everything. But they know people are fed up big time with them. And so they are running scared. He in particular is trying to reassure his people that, look, we'll do this, we'll try and do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. But the more, they try to dilute or misinform or, create inorganic sort of processes to gain certain advantages, the more that happens, the more Ghanaians, as someone wrote to me, will say have seen the light and they don't like what is happening. So, the Etienne say, ambulance BC Kotobabi, no, in Kotobabi. AC Dubai, forecourt, say, forecourt, they say shop will be out. Omo ton nyomano cars no shop re dan si ho enim ho no a kakraka no na cars ni sisi wa na say vehicles Ghana de omo kan bibia e car as a car isu e ketwa and articulator trucks e be a truck e be a vehicles wagons so Ghana de bibia e car the e co square start say yesu brofi ye chire ye mo se ya kase abedane no aye bibia poto bibia ye ka eyi bus bi dwoba ye ka bus ne eyi bia omapim accident. Talking about that ochrekun that accident, that gory accident, you see, in a country they be a country which is governed by proper human beings, the president would have even made comment about this. Say, hey, come on, guys. This is unacceptable. This got to change. Why are so many of our citizens dying needlessly on the roads? The president should be asking this. But or pay the next available your friends activity outside Ghana. Say Latin America for Shiemu, meetings. They say they are AU, Africans Shiemu. Kufuor be inviting ho akohobi because obetina play mo obegina allowance okogina ni akoda hotel. We all know exactly why this guy loves traveling. That's all. The serious issues are happening when the Chrome, he will never comment on it. Having said that, I'm expecting the NDC fraternity, the top echelons of NDC to make some comments about what is happening in Obuasi. Because irrespective, and despite the actual fact that those 300 or so people contravened and they trespassed illegally into somebody's property, it doesn't mean that they should be made to die or forced to it's not right. There are so many ways of letting these people come out, by coercion, by assuring them that, look, even if we are going to arrest you, it is just formality. In the end, you'll be cautioned and you'll be asked not to do that again. Something. Just talk to them for them to come out. But you see a number of soldiers with weapons, ready to shoot weapons, have been put, sent to Obuasi. The people who are crying and wailing, thinking that their loved ones are going to die in the tunnel, and they are angry. Those people, you send weapons to go and do what? Just say, you how to do anything. Our conflict resolution is a tionu kurantia, is a nipakrono osro, just to obikae, to submit, to conform.
NFM Radio.
Just send and show the power of gun. That's all what we can do. That's all what we are able to do. Come on, guys. We need to do better than this. Like I said, I'm waiting for the NDC echelons to also make a point to speak about this. I want to hear Mahama himself speak about this. Have to admit the wrongdoings of those 300 people, but equally making them suffer. And apparently one has died or something. Giving them ultimatum, come out to be arrested or die, is not the way to go. So we are waiting for NDC. Come out and let's be hearing you.
When you
Abusiafo, sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we wiase afa na nyina yentua ka pre. Ane eye free. Top connect amasika mani aye mrekra. Ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store. Di ama wo Android phone. Ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Eye simple kra. Top Connect wa manda bredu num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Wo mane wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so a eyentem na emre. Ne ma wa hoto so nso. Sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect. Se wo hia chechemu bia, fra Top Connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect e wa befo ntintenfidie nyina so. Top Connect fasika mane wa dofo asumdjemu a wontia ka pre. Top Connect yenso ye die nie.
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and set up more cassier, no crane say. One funny papa, and I'm installation now, Mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, okay, new. Never called room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every year a nice one at your mawa, every beer, no Bajuma Dikadika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice at your mawa, or you beer every bus straight. Now, you know what you will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we all beer, you have a yet the amount. Also, I'm more rich, I'm always sit down and make anyone over to me and for you can lie with so. Yeah, be install air conditioning Ibiamamu. Frank +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, Frank 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
Right, I'll say air conditioning now, master, and everything called enterprise. If and when you want to build a cold store in Ghana, or you want to install solar panels on the roof of your building, these are the people you need to contact or consult. They are called Everything Called Enterprise. They are that good. They know their stuff. If you just tune in, then welcome. Otherwise, thank you for staying put. Today is Her Excellency Hannah Tete, her birthday. So we got to mention that. And we got to mention that. Anyway, in about 10 minutes or so, I will get hold of Ransford Jampo. He is a university lecturer in Legon. He is not very happy when these memos leaked that the presidency is asking for the CVs of directors working at the Electoral Commission. And he has actually written an open letter to the president. I'll try and find the letter and I'll read it to your satisfaction, if that will satisfy you. Let's see if I can find it. I said, Dear President Akufo-Addo, do you want to do this to... Sorry, let me read it again. In fact, to be safe, let me get my spectacles. Otherwise, I'll be making mistakes. And I don't like people reading, especially on TV or radio, and they are making mistakes. I complain a lot, so I don't want to do the same. See what I mean? Dear President, a letter written by Ransford Jampo, Dear President Akufo-Addo, why do you want to do this to an independent commission? It appears under your tenure that you are doing everything you can to decimate the independence of all independent institutions. But to what end? The history of Ghana's Fourth Republic shows that you are currently the worst president in promoting the sanctity of independence of electoral commission. Unfortunately, there aren't courageous people around you to tell you to back off your attempts at annexing the electoral commission. In the days, Dan Botwe, as a general secretary of the NPP, could boldly tell President Kufuor in the face to back off his attempt to usurp the procurement powers of the Electoral Commission, and the president had no choice than to listen. Please leave office and leave the sanctity of our independent institutions intact. This is not a practice worth emulating or repeating, sir. This demand is unnecessary. Its optics for the quest to deal with the independence and deficit of Electoral Commission are bad. But the Electoral Commission too must not be seen to be swallowing everything thrown to them by the president, hook, line, and sinker. As an independent commission, it is backed by law to resist every attempt at subjugating the commission under the executive. So this is an open letter written by Professor Jampo. And it is circulated almost everywhere. Hopefully, we'll get him to come and speak on this and maybe on other matters.
When you were baby, your mama told you not
Right, so Fire Benny is the title of the program that's happening right here at NFM Radio. Mansa Musa, I needed to go behind the scenes to speak to and reply to or respond to certain information that I was receiving. So that's why I kept playing the music. But believe me, I can talk for England and I always want to talk. Anyway, so tonight, as we speak, we're waiting for Professor Jampo, the university lecturer, to come and discuss things with us. Apparently, Napo, Matthew Poku Prempe, he is the energy minister. Apparently, he had a holiday somewhere in a very, lavish holiday, or is it birthday celebration, apparently in French Monaco. And anyone who knows what happens at French Monaco, or anyone who's been there before, will tell you that it's not cheap, to rent a hotel in Monaco for a night. It's not easy at all. Apparently, that's where Napo was found to be celebrating his birthday. Birthday is good, that you are lucky to be alive and everything, you see. And if you are very, very rich, like Richard Branson or any of the private entrepreneurs, any of the what we call it, publicly, people who have earned their wealth or their riches privately, doing entrepreneurship, trading, and the rest. Well, if they have their money and they want to spend it anyhow, no one can raise a finger or no one can actually say anything about it. Not even Mansa Musa. I wouldn't complain. Even though sometimes, like people like this Microsoft owner and some of the very rich people in America, when it gets to a certain stage in their life, they see that, look, it's not worth it flashing your cash about anywhere, because in the end, you are going to leave it anyway. So they become rather very humble, you see, or let's say modest. So even if you are a private person, you are rich, I will expect you to be, show some humility, to show some modesty, and don't push it into the eyes of the poor people too much. But then when or if you are a public figure, somebody who works for government or in government, politics or politician, then that one is even a different kettle of fish altogether. Because when at this present moment, we have Ghana as a country in all these economic difficulties created by mismanagement and maybe some partly mismanagement and corrupt practices by the people in charge. When there is so much talk about unemployment, no jobs to go about, and so the youth don't have work or jobs to go to, living standards or living conditions is worsening. We have retirees or pensioners or pensioners aggrieved by the decision of the government to collateralize their monies, to keep hold on payments to these pensioners for a while. They are not happy. So in all this, in this scenario, it is wrong for any politician, no matter how that politician has earned his crust, to be ostentatious, to show opulence and spend money, willy-nilly, as they say, in public. So for Napo, if it turns out to be true that he actually celebrated his birthday apparently he took a private jet from somewhere, I think Germany or somewhere, to Monaco to go and watch Formula One. It doesn't bode well because the country as a whole it's not in good place. People are struggling to make ends meet. So if you have come into power for just 6 years and you are so rich to celebrate your birthday in French Monaco, I don't think some of us who devoted their youthful days to sing and dance about revolution, the revolution that was to come to correct so many ills of society, we can't sit down and say, oh, just let it be. If you have anything to say about this, you can call me. Then we have the main ones, the ASSIN North by election. For me, I would say that, look, NDC will continue saying that, oh, they are prepared or they are ready and they can continue, arguing and accusing the party in government of, what do you call it, how do we say that word? Say not fair, being fair-handed, playing against the rules to take advantage. You NDC can accuse MPP for all this. But the fact is, the Ghanaian mentality, that, oh, these people promise. They will go and tell, we promise that we'll do your roads for you. And now, you see, we are doing it. That was in the plan. That was the schedule. That was the rota. That was, the calendar. That this year we'll start doing your roads. And now that's why we are doing it. And believe me, Ghanaians, especially those at home who are half, semi-educated and those who are not educated at all. Unfortunately, they tend to believe this. Then it will come to the money side. You see, I sit here and think that, someone to give you 50 cedis or 100 cedis or even 10 cedis to go and vote for them, it's an insult to your person. It's an insult to your integrity. I can sit here and say all this. But equally, I got to understand that someone in Ghana who will have to wait maybe for about 2, 3, 4 months in order to see a sum of, let's say, 100 cedis. If someone comes just one day to say, I'm giving you 25 cedis, for the few 5 minutes that you are going to vote for me, why wouldn't they take it? Especially when they know that politicians, whenever they go into, that political arena, when they get power, then they make it very rich for themselves and for their family. The citizens know this. So it's like a dibinamin dibi. Even though, in the end, you, the citizen now, Abama politician, or no politician ni yarea on baby on the hospital no isi abrochire. Sa politician no ne ba any ne ba omo abrochire suade. Sa politician no kodi ne birthday otumi fa private jet no de kwa abrochire. Enti se obi begina wanim na or defe o. Oh, one say a lorry say be see o ye be ye mo kwan na mamo. Oh, one who says they say no hey, me say fin neko ye be bie mu school no, and now say ye be bie hospital no. Enti wo de jiwe fato ho na kire ye be saba. Then so got to kotuma sa politician no a wonim say ye wie about to pe machines na ye de ye kwan no ye si kumewu kwan no amoye no. The center of town no mutumi ye no, ye see no ano no. The rest of the long stretch, apparently, no, omwejai. Enti se uwo ASSIN North, na ye kotu aba, na se ubeji bribe 10 cedis, 20 cedis, even 100 cedis. Na se wa kotu aba boni, wa unim se, inkrofwe inye hwema munemum, abatu wone drinti osiji skana tubami. Na se ubeji ya, na watu wa, well, omdi ombe wini aji omweni, nemo obreno. You see, let me not lie to you that to make it, as a human being, and now yet way, UK aban emrebia wo wiase bia omo kohwehwe abase na be ya it will limit people coming from especially black Africans and by Europe. Akobi de to nyum osi ye ni wo sere kwa. Abrofo no ni ye mpanifo ni hia ne omo defo omo ye mpanifo anim ne omo ho aye tum no omo ginyina ho na omo ne abrofo no sere omo fu se abrofo no pe ama asem respect omo ma. Jesus Christ. Ebeya say ye use abrofo no mentality. Abrofo emebunu the youth of Europe especially. They don't sit down for their politicians to fool about. They don't sit down. We are on the board they will make sure say on be you the fufraba. Fufro no back then ya on be you the fufraba. That's how they do it. Yes, our mentality na ye be say openi di openi so you have to respect. You can't say this, you can't say that. Motiha na mohine pon on hine kesiye the king of Ashanti. But the birthday wa brochre. Ye fa say sika no ono ani dia ni. But enye fe umemufo bre. Umemufo nye bibi ndi. Umemufo nye juma papa ye efi esumuni kankan. Enka wo na odi utumi efrefres and yoba efrefre krofo kra na aba e de adwuma bakrom ho fine. Umma brochre medi u birthday. But we are okay. Maybe him say, Senka, a mebruno a walk room on a dream do. And no mujina kinti say, hey, nana, asante hine ya hine. And a moment 2 hours 2 way dear, maybe CBU. Or hine betra ho, adwene ho, and make sure say, I'm an amount to be able to know it will be beneficial to his people. The whole country is now as a kingdom. Maybe apart from Syria, Egypt, Africa, Middle East. But Syria, maybe Palestine, I want to try Iran. I think they are kind of kingdom. But Omwa kingdoms ne war Middle East, Arabs in him say, if they fail to satisfy the larger community now, they'll be in trouble. Ain't with their Islamic strictness, ni law, ni uncompromising sort of court martial law near there, with all that, they still make sure that they develop their countries so that they know they are drilling for oil, almost free in their country. And then Papa Oho hospitals, Papa Oho, Aquan Papa Oho, they are even reclaiming lands from the sea. Omo kingdom so omo ya man and one would expect to say Asante in the position say and you only a tax man and you only a boom man but they go to me using the position and man who bamfa so ma ne my for. And so I know, and you know, that in Fasobia and Shedan Bahin, the Etian say every occasion be a kwesi die, ya mamre, you can come yanni in the outside, that's all. But say paso, send ya English former omo monarchy, royal, edisika bro mono. Yeah, monarchy in Fesicabia Ambrobia. English for monarchy, Akrano. Omo nye mona nye say and this is Saudi Arabia but omo monarchy omo royal system edisikadi egudie edi bre oman ye krom bibi ni hosa but uko compare those people that the whole thing is affecting omo moti man mu no a situation emboa omo uka omo mona omo bubefu aka kire wo say kawanu tum. Mansa Musa de makase asem of course me cannot meet in ya make us we catch them so when they want carry I will just raise my hand and say yeah I got it wrong But some minim say no crepa the way in penny for Africa or Ghana in particular. So they see buya mino and yet. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh, so they see buya mino and yet. And so wherever the problem is coming from, for in my own way, I'll try and I will try to always confront it with my writings or with my sayings. The SME cano meka. The SME kamanutum so meka manuatum. O mamichena.
Yezu oyeza. Munya NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland chapter. Dama bri so michia na menyu ba bezian abato ho nkomo. Dem awore nyim na oka nkakra na yakoto aba yeze yan mpenyufo a wo party do. Wo dam chapter ya mezi ho nkomo na menyu ba bezi chairman akwa no ho nkomo dama bri. Chairman akwa kampenyufo a wo gina there to wando abana wombe chairman nemu chairman akwa de ojina ho prekope enti mesraw de ebo to waba na eza ma chairman akwa no wabe chairman bo United Kingdom and Ireland chapter usane de okitan hihye bebre a yame na dom na so be chairman a opede ozuboa awo a eye member bo United Kingdom na Ireland na NDC party ni na da na dom hihye no mu binyi the establishment of a welfare program. Dem welfare program no mu foso benyi abrubiara NDC ni ehwehwem bo wo sekasama fem bibi kakre bi a ezeboto to nzama wa bra ahokyira aba no dem welfare program e bohwe na wonsa ka bibi kakra ofi £50 zuko £400 na enyesika etum ebotua eyi chairman akwana adwe na opede odzeboa NDC ibiso nye de NDC member biara obenya any immigration issue ana mbrem nsemi biara wo bibia otena wo United Kingdom ana Ireland chairman akwa establish mpenyumfo a wobetena ho na wahwe na advice biara oyembra kono do na wadi amaw impo se pelo yenyi bi na wegina na waka wasem bi amaw wo United Kingdom ha ana Ireland da mpenyumfi wo mu binum ye lawyers a obotum wegina ma amaw na waji bibi kakre bi wa bra obotum wa abo na wo bibiara so akodo. Welfare program kuriyara suya chairman akwa opede ozubbo azi onu so behwe na yenuanum a wo United Kingdom na Ireland nyinara awona woye into event organization photographers awona wo hihye bibia amanfo ye one parties one weddings nyina obaka won nyinara abom dem obeya NDC member biara obenya any event de oye wedding outdooring bibiara no wetum wa bobo no wa ya ama no wa bra onkotue sika te dem a okakafo obi wo pado ana enchen bi na wa ba da madina man chairman akona nimpemfu so bohwe na abribiara any welfare ana any social issue biara oba affect any member biara no obaba obopu ewechi na bibiara de what mo ana bibiara de woye na wodzebo wo program wa kodo no wetum wa yendam na ahomka wa ba welfare program yi bibia se nyamobo na se chairman akwa obeye chairman wo United Kingdom na Ireland no munsam kakra na me putu hu za atrewi odobobaji na woda aboa awo member na woda aboa yen NDC MPyi na epebe nazi munua NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland to waba former chairman akwa nyamobo na sanensa kadzebiu na ono so obegina na wahwede mama ka ginara odzibe yi dwuma na party na akwa n'enyim.
National Democratic Congress NDC emwenyo nyemfo mane mema mo UK ni Ireland chapter no ya yetienie bena so say yebeto aba eji chapter chairman fofo ya hwede chine no mum likoto no so enyo nyemfo Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man the father say edi party no enim kan odi amonyesema kotine yie ne wetu ni hwesi wo ho masoro nkoso woni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotitiru na esine nan so nwade bebre no de egu akwemu a obeye de amaye bini se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika £3 empeme num na ato ase eye £5,000
or Sancho Magwoni Mama Honsu, £1,000 na ever show Mujuma Mukina, na is Sijina. Don't swear, but you're up for almost true Mudi Abaka party in a hoodie. Omombra Crow, almost Abaka Omudika, and 10 times so. Na Achi Adam Abakaya home. And you possibly and Sebianso. Party Mumpenum Fua, only the ready ever show Munsebiano, or but two saffron Matinase. Na dia show Munsano over Buma Ponta Mako. When the Brennan or Bayama you. Only a Sapatra Possible Mountuma, Bisanidi. Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man. Tapa chairman Anna, Yantumano.
Right, Mansa Musa here with Fire Benio. It's the nighttime politics coming to you right from the NFM radio portals. I have to announce that we have a lot of space for adverts and also for other programs. So it is we obia opese obana obeka and sempa se obe nyamesuma yewo times now ebidaho either night, all night, or maybe daytime times no nti so bia oye ope asofodie ana oye asofo nyoma if opeso be join na obe bompai or the be sorry we are ready to have him.
NFM Radio.
Or her. Say him we can have him or
NFM Radio.
Let me play one of these sound bites.
The clergy and the religious this thing, when they speak, they shake the foundation. And it is only the church that will address meaningfully the canker going on. And they want to silence all credible voices. Now, today, we will reveal everything to you. This question has, direct relation with the pronouncements of Reverend Professor Marty. Let me tell you why people do not want Professor Marty to talk. Listen, they have tried, politicians have tried all means, all means to muzzle me, to get me, but they can't. They come with bribes, fat envelope, $100,000. Listen. I want everybody to listen. Politicians came to my house with fat envelope, $100,000, not cedis, dollars. And also with the promises that, if you keep quiet, we will give you a house at Trazaco with swimming pool. You know what? We will give you 4-wheel drive. These people were lucky. I did not have big dogs in my house. Else I would have released the dogs to bite them for the whole world to ask, Papa Moderator, my boy one again. Papa Moderator, I then I would tell me dinner. Now you release the dog. Then I will tell them, ask what they came to do. You know what? They have tried all means to muzzle me. They couldn't, and I tell you they can't. And you know what? I will speak today, I will speak tomorrow. You know the tax I pay, Osofo? Sometimes when this thing comes and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, We will talk tomorrow.
Right. So this Professor Mate promised to talk today and talk tomorrow. That was a long time ago. Since then, we have not heard from him. I personally have the opportunity. Sometimes I speak with him privately, and that is in private. So there's not much I can say to anybody. All what I can say is that very soon, he is prepared, or he wants to have a good shout on my show, and hopefully it will be very soon to have him to come and discuss stuff. Professor Jampo has just indicated that, in fact, he went somewhere, I think a meeting, and now driving back to his bungalow, and as such cannot speak now. Maybe tomorrow or maybe Friday. Unfortunately, we cannot speak to him today. So can we talk? Okay, all right, thank you. So I will arrange to see how best or when we can arrange for us to have this discussion. It is very, very, very important, because he has written an open letter to the president. And okay, so let's continue. And I've seen a note showing that the cathedral people have requested $100 million just to buy materials, steel, iron rods for building. Whenever you are putting up a large building, it's the iron rods, the structure. The main structure is the most expensive part. The concrete, walls and columns and the rest. But 100 million for steel rods, I think it's a bit on the high side. But we can whom am I? Thank you. You see, so we shall see what happens to or with the cathedral as well. Under normal circumstance, if the cathedral was even something that Ghanaians wished for, Ghanaians requested, Ghanaians wanted a cathedral, this is the time a president who thinks about the welfare of his people would have come out to say, fellow Ghanaians, yes, we all are interested in getting this cathedral up and going, but the situation is such that, unfortunately, we cannot have it now. The monies that will require, the monies that we will need to build this cathedral, we can or we may have to use it for other purposes. Then in future, if and when our situation changes, we'll come back to build a cathedral. This would have been a very sensible talk. But this sensible talk, you see, is in the head of maybe Andy's, it's in the head of Mansa Musa only. Akufo-Addo doesn't have it, so he won't say it. Otherwise, when you are looking for 100 million to build a cathedral, when pensioners are losing their monies and people are supposed to sit tight, everything is exorbitant. Prices of things, goods and services going up and up and up and up. Government services, even when to have a credit for your phone and the rest, all those charges are going up. Akufo-Addo say, we have 400 million to build a cathedral. And say, but Ghana for be to me can because we be a Akufo-Addo. Ye fancy anyam ya aduma ochina baba to us meanwhile no wa flashy and I don't know so na o flashy by mistake so say obekasa I'll let you come and have your say. Tell me what you think about all what I've discussed. So na make you know. Tell me what you think about everything before I close. So 2 minutes to 10 here in the UK. In a country where after 2, 3 or so many years, the Supreme Court will come and say that the decision taken by the president was wrong. Forcing Daniel Domilevo out was unconstitutional. But now, you understand? Now, your Supreme Court have come to, has come to realization that the directives by the president, you see, I will say it is, the president instigated the removal of Daniel Domilevo. Now the Supreme Court say, it was unconstitutional. And they say that Domilevo ye in a free honor. Now any constitutional no president differ now say does he have any question to answer? And I say I can't was akeke. Then tomorrow we'll continue to investigate that ambulance now. You see Ghana Health Service for Atona, you see Dubai, and so you can watch him. The same president was sending memo ako EC, any other public institutions said directors no or here will be our CV. So, yemfa we know yemfa see ho nyame ya adoma and America no ochina ye be abeto aso bi da mu nyina ase.
NFM Radio.
Look at